So, Ikhaya labafundi recently had him on the Chris network, just in case you didn't see that. And when they had him on the Chris network, they were doing this episode. And in this episode, there is a lot they said. There are things that they spoke about that I want to make a reference biblically. I don't have lights right now, so I can't do that. So I'm going to have the lights come back, then I'll address those things. But from the things that were said in this episode, I'm going to break this episode into two. First, someone has passed away because after believing the gospel of Babsbia and don't take medication. Okay? Now, I want to be very clear that the person I don't believe passed away because of believing this doctrine. They do mention that the child didn't even stay, I think, a week or two. Then they passed away. And so it becomes very clear that the child had actually come to the end of his life, particularly fighting the battle of this illness, right? And so that portion, if you didn't hear it, it's on this video.
Iyodwa case esiyenzekile whereby umama efika nengane yakhe eyaqala ukudla amaphilisi angixolele makuthi uyayizwa le video kodwa isithombe mangikhumbula kahle yayisencane kakhulu mhlambe engahlala unyaka angixolele impela ngiyaxolisa kakhulu kodwa ibisina 12 years 4 years ine diabetic idla imedication yani kashukela ibisijova bingasadli nje amaphilisi kodwa ibisijova and ngestory sasizwayo ukuthi ibisijova ngendlela ukuthi ingane bingasathanda ukujova yayithi mayizwa ngevangelo kudala konke lokuphuma emaphilisini ukuthi siphila ngoJesu yedwa yayithanda lengane impilo ena 12 years yayithanda yafaka ipressure ngiya remember uma wayo engifonela mhlambe ngithi kwangabo June last year right mase xoxa mama wengane uyasho ukuthi ubelokhe resist ingane iyeza ukuthi ngiphelile judging to a situation esasibona enganeni ingane yayisiphelile dliwa amaphilisi yasiphelile nje ngaphakathi iphelile lemjovo yonke into so uyafika la critical sesithandaze sicela uNkulunkulu why usivumela isimo esinjena kithi la Ikhaya labafundi sathola ukuthi uNkulunkulu wayesefuna ukuprepare ingane ihambele endaweni ekahle umoya wayo ujabule yayingasafuna emjovo ingasafuna iphilisi then ke yathi mayifika la ekhaya yathi sengifikile la kade ngifuna khona yawayeka amaphilisi yonke medication sazama ukuthi sineseke nangokudla lokho esisebenzisayo kunaturally organic kwasho ukuthi ke sekulate liphela ngeviki ihleli yabona so ke yadlula ke emhlabeni sakwenza konke ke ubuma wayo khona kubizwa ukufanele umndeni like usuke eCape Town lo mama.
So that's the first thing that I want to address. I don't believe it's because of believing this, but I want to ask, what kind of beliefs is it? Because inside his voice here, you could hear almost a hope, as if the child had come earlier, something different would have been.
Medication yani kashukela ibisijova bingasadli nje amaphilisi kodwa ibisijova and ngestory sasizwayo ukuthi ibisijova ngendlela ukuthi ingane bingasathanda ukujova yayithi mayizwa ngevangelo kudala konke lokuphuma emaphilisini ukuthi siphila ngoJesu yedwa yayithanda lengane impilo ena 12 years judging to a situation esasibona enganeni ingane yayisiphelile dliwa amaphilisi yasiphelile nje ngaphakathi iphelile lemjovo yonke into so uyafika la critical.
And that is the hope that for me is dangerous. That's the hope that for me I wanted to address, to say, what is it that the apostles believed that led to their death? It was believing that Jesus is Lord. It wasn't straying away from health and medication. It was not straying away from medication. So that hope that if only the child came earlier, somehow there might have been. That's a very dangerous hope. Because you can almost hear as if he wants to imply that if the child had come earlier, no, people will die if you keep holding to that idea. Let's be very clear about something. The child's life had come to an end. It's just that. It's not the most fanciest things, but it's just what it was, right? And so, I'm not going to blame it on their doctrine, but that hope is scary because it ignores that the Bible would speak completely contrary to it. What do I mean? Paul addresses Timothy and he says, Timothy, the sickness that you have, you need a little bit of wine. That's Paul. So to show that this idea that Babsibia is trying to bring that, oh no, we just depend on Jesus. That's not how God made us. God made us in a way that there are certain other things outside that the body depends on. It's not that because he speaks of it as if we have faith in that thing.
Sekuvele kwangcola yonke imvelo yakhe. uNkulunkulu usezosiza umuntu kuphela ozothemba yena gelekeqe. Sikhuthaza ukuthi sikholwe sethembe igama lenkosi uJesu Kristu lona lodwa. Sengike ngabona baba kuleminyaka uNkulunkulu asengisise ngayo ngisindisiwe. Honestly umuntu uzothemba izinto ezingamakhambi ngibonile zingasebenzi. Khona abantu engafakaza ngabo ukuthi ngithatha amahlamvu siyakwenza ke la ekhaya kuyinkathi itiye siphuza la ekhaya. Bahlanisa amahlamvu abazalwane yabona izinto enatural bese uyaphuza. Ukudla healthy asithembile khona. Yes, ngoba ukuthemba enye into kuyisinengiso kuNkulunkulu. Ukumisa enye into uthembele kuyona ukuthi iyakuphilisa. Nomzimba wadalwa uNkulunkulu.
When you eat food, you know food does good for the body. You don't hope, you don't have faith in the food. No, you know food is good for the body. So he's trying to make this argument that people have faith in the food. Like he's trying to frame this idea of people having faith in the medication. No, just like food we take, we know it will do something. It will perform some function in the body. You drink water, if you were feeling a little bit sluggish and lazy and whatnot, and the body can come back to thingy by drinking water. Because water helps in the body, right? Water helps in the body. We don't have to have faith in the water. We don't have to have faith in food. So that idea that he's trying to say, he's adding so that people feel guilty for taking medication. That's ridiculous. We don't have to have faith in medication. We know that there are certain things within nature. When they take them, they put them together and whatnot. Because he says that they do the same thing. They sometimes put lemons inside drink and coffee and all that. And he says, but we don't have faith. Yeah, who said we have faith? That was very weird when Babsibia said that. Guys, the lights are... I don't have lights. The electricity is gone and I had gone out. So I'm going to have to record in the highest ISO with the power station while it's still on. So that idea he's trying to bring up as if we have faith in the food. If we have faith in the medication, it's very opposite to what we know about what we are doing. We don't have to have faith in the medication. When the same way we eat food, knowing it will do good, we don't have to have faith in the food. So we know that the medication has certain things in it that are good for the body. I don't need to have faith in the medication. I know the same way I know food does well and I know water does well. So why is it that he adds faith in the food? Why doesn't he add faith in the food? Babsibia is very biased. He's not hearing that what he's saying would contradict what he believes about food. But I want to stretch that to the second question on the second episode. On the second episode, I want to talk about the corruption he talks about. It's very, very funny when he speaks about those things, because there are certain things that happen in the Bible that would contradict these ideas that he's trying to bring up, that everything is just corrupt. But on this one, first of all, the child's passing, I don't believe it's in the doctrine, because the child had already lived with medication for long enough, and sometimes the sickness just takes, right? But what I'm addressing on that is that faith, that hope he has, that if the child had come earlier, something different would have happened. That's dangerous. That is what's dangerous in my view, is that somehow we want to justify if this doctrine would have done something. No, when sickness takes. It's just that. Because now he will lead others to think, if you had come earlier, if you just come earlier. No, they all didn't come earlier. And other people will keep passing away, and then they didn't come earlier or whatever. That hope, which is strange, like I mentioned, when he says that people have faith in the medication. No, we don't have faith in the medication. The same way we eat food, we know food will do good to the body. The medication, we know. They even tell you what it has. This food has this. This food has this. And we know that those things will be good to the body. Simple as that. Why complicate it? Why is he complicating it? They complicate it to make a position for what they believe. And it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right. So I wanted to talk about that, because it's a double standard. Why do you eat food? Which takes me to the second part of what they talk about, and about the food being corrupt. And I want to show you the biasness of his position, and he's not hearing that it disqualifies what he is doing. But I want to talk about that on a separate episode. But that faith, that hope, that if only maybe the child had come earlier, or something like that, and all that, that can be dangerous. It can lead people into danger. So we should not condone that in any way. Yeah, tell me your thoughts down in the comment section. Let's be very careful, because it's the very same thing that people like doing with worship on Sunday. They like doing that. I'll highlight how very, very soon. It's Ricky. Y'all have a good one. Second episode will be posted right after this one.